What sense does this make? What kind of friends are they that I'm going to take you to another country, beat the crap out of you while you're naked, and then leave you there and go back home like everything is okay?
And I don't even like when people say stuff like, be careful who your friends are, this, that, and the other.
Yes, we're going to talk about be careful who your friends are. She may not think that you can talk about be careful who your friends are. And in this case, sometimes your friends can really camouflage. There are some really tricky people out there, but there's only for so long that you can pretend to be somebody that you're not. Happy Thanksgiving! Welcome to another episode of Becoming with Angelina Watkins, and I'm your host, Angelina, your queen of becoming. And I am here to help sophisticated professionals and first-time entrepreneurs become who they need to be so that they can do what they're purposed to do, so they can live the abundant life that they want to live. And I started this podcast to talk about topics from healing to prosperity and everything in between to help you become who you need to be so that you can win at love, life, and money. So if this is your first time tuning in, I welcome you. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss another episode. And always leave comments and let me know, how did you enjoy the show? Now, today's topic is frenemies. And it's being taken from a viral story that's going around and circulating the internet and social media about Shanquella Robinson. Shanquella Robinson was a 25-year-old college student from Charlotte, North Carolina, and she traveled to Kabul with 6 of her friends on October 28th and died in Kabul the next day.
Shanquella Robinson was a young 25-year-old woman who went on a trip to Kabul with some friends from college that somehow ended up with her being dead. And the friends came home and told the parents that she died from alcohol poisoning. One of the friends even went to the mama's house 3 times until he found out that the parents got access to the autopsy report, which revealed that Shanquella had in fact died from a broken neck and a cracked spine. And the video emerged of these so-called friends beating her up. One of them was beating her pretty badly, and the other one was videotaping, which is crazy to me.
Now, so you have these friends. She goes on a trip with these friends and never returns home. How devastating can that be for her family? How horrifying is that for her parents? That your child that you so dearly love, who had such a bright future ahead of her, goes out of town on an innocent girls trip. And I don't know if I call it girls trip because one of the friends was a guy. And then she never returns home. And what happens is they leave and they come and they tell the parents that she died of alcohol poisoning. But the autopsy showed that she had a broken neck and a broken spinal cord. And there's a video circulating. I actually did see the video, and I didn't want to watch the video because I just didn't want to see the horrifying event. But I ended up watching it as I was, of course, wanting to make sure that I'm reporting this correctly. And let me tell you, the video was horrible. I did not like what I saw. This child was naked. Yes, I say child. This child was naked. And she's in a hotel room with her friends, and one of her friends is beating her. I mean, just throwing her around the room like a little rag doll. And she's not responding. She's not fighting back, but she's not speaking. It's like her body is limp. So apparently there's something wrong. I don't know if she was intoxicated or not. It doesn't even really matter. The point, whether she was intoxicated or not, the point is you're throwing her around this room. You're punching her all in her face. You leave her for dead and come home and tell the parents that it was alcohol was the cause of death, for an autopsy to find out that no, my daughter had a broken neck and a broken spinal cord. And so I have to say, what sense does this make? What kind of friends are they that I'm going to take you to another country, beat the crap out of you while you're naked, and then leave you there and go back home like everything is okay. Now, the autopsy report, there's been more reports that have come out that says, okay, she wasn't dead right away. The friends did call 911 for them to come. They spent hours trying to help her, but she ends up still passing away. But again, this had to be, in my opinion, premeditated. I mean, 6 people in this room with her, and she's getting beat, and all the cameraman can say is, why don't you fight back? And all of these other people are watching. And at what point do you not stop filming and step in? At what point, for those who are just the other friends that are watching, do you not stop this beating and step in? Have we really come to this in this world where we just want to stand by and just watch someone be harmed and not step in? What happened to being a good Samaritan? And what is on the minds of these people who would do this to her?
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the culture. You know, I'm not saying that every young person would do something this crazy, but what I am saying is that when you're talking about, as Akila Hunter refers to, young people being raised on reality TV and thinking that this is normal life, I really wonder what was going through the heads of the young people that were participating in this crime. Every single person that was in that room or anywhere nearby is an accomplice. They're going to become a suspect on some level. The person that was beating this lady until she died, that's clearly kind of crazy. It shows some trauma coming out. It shows a lack of judgment.
A lot to be said about those people who accompanied her that later, it seems as though, had a hand in her death.
I never want to minimize what happened to this child, but hurt people. And there had to have been something going on with these people that you would have it in your mind that I'm going to go to Cabo and we're going to take this trip. And while we're in Cabo, I'm going to beat her and I'm going to leave her there and go home to the family, lie to them and tell them that she, died from drinking, and then go on about your life like you didn't do anything that you didn't participate in the death of this young lady. What is going on in the minds of our children and our young adults? Is this what the world is really coming to? Is this what we have to worry about? And I agree that reality TV does not help, because of all of the reality TV shows that we see of the fighting and the arguing. And this is like reality TV gone wrong. And, we took it a little bit too far. We probably thought that we can, do some things to her. We can beat her. We can, make her look bad. And then we went a little too far and it caused a death. Now, I think this was premeditated. I can't say that was premeditated murder, but I definitely think it was premeditated assault. And I think that because they did call for her to get help. So it's not like they left her for dead. Stories made it sound like they left her for dead. They killed her and then went home. No, you did some things. You caused her death. You tried to lie about it, but I don't think that murder was the intent. But nonetheless, it happened because we don't know how to control our emotions. We have got to get a hold of our emotions and our mental and these cycles of behaviors that cause us to do these things, and then the other friends that just watched. I mean, what is going on with you that you would be okay to see another person being harmed in the way that this child was being harmed in this video? Our morals are off. Where are the morals for our children to say, you know what, this is not right? I mean, what's in the mind of a person who has something against you but will pretend to be your friend, then plan a trip only to harm you, cause your death, go back home, and then lie to your parents? Who would do that?
What were you thinking? What made you think that this was going to be okay? what made you think that this was ethically okay? What made you think it was okay to even sit there and watch her get beat to death? And then what made you think it was okay to think you could come back home and cover it up? And then also what made you think it was okay to sit there and lie to her mama all that time? I mean, that to me shows the type of psychosis I'd never understand.
I'll never understand it either. I don't get it. I just can't even imagine the mind of a person who would do that. The mind of a person who says, I'm going to assault you, and then I'm going to leave you dead in another country, and then I'm going to go home and act like nothing ever happened, like I didn't do any wrong. I can't even imagine myself the psychosis of a person like that. And so I want to get into talking about frenemies. I want to talk about frenemies, okay?
And I don't even like when people say stuff like, be careful who your friends are, this, that, and the other. She shoulders no blame for the savagery and senseless violence that she was subjected to. And I might add, being naked.
Yes, we're going to talk about be careful who your friends are. She may not think that you can talk about be careful who your friends are. And in this case, sometimes your friends can really camouflage. There are some really tricky people out there, but there's only for so long that you can pretend to be somebody that you're not. Even when you're a good person, only for so long can you pretend to be somebody that you're not. You can pretend to be happy, but one day we're going to know that you're not. You can pretend to be on top of the world when one day we're going to know that you're not. You can pretend to have all the money in the world and like things are going well, but one day we're going to know that it's not. So you can only camouflage your life and who you are for so long before the veil is removed. But there are some people who can do it for a very long time. And so, yes, you do need to be careful who your friends are. Just like we have to be careful who we pick as a mate, we need to be careful about who we pick as a friend. There's red flags. They told don't ignore the red flags when you're picking a mate. Don't ignore the red flags when you're picking a friend, because there are some red flags. And so we're going to go over those red flags. We're going to talk about the ways you will know that your friend is really a frenemy. Now, the first one, they talk behind your back. Okay? They talk behind your back. You know they talk behind your back because the people are coming back letting you know the stuff they said behind your back. That is not a friend. You need to leave them alone. Okay? Number two, one-sided support. They always ask them for favors, but they never can return the favor to you. They always want you to be there for them, but they can't be there for you. They want you to do stuff for them, but when it's time for you to get the help, they're nowhere to be found. They're not picking up the phone. They don't have no time. But they want you to be there for them, but they can't be there for you. Needy. Their emotional needs are always more important than yours, okay? When you go through things too, you have need of emotional support and someone to be there for you, but are they there for you? Are they a lending ear? Are they a safe place, a soft place for you to land? Are they there for you to allow you to be able to release what's going on with you and give you advice? Nope. But as soon as they're going through some troubles, as soon as they need to cry, as soon as they need to vent, as soon as they need any type of emotional support, they want you there for them, but they're never there for you. That is a frenemy. They only care about what's going on in their life. They're never concerned about what's going on in your life. They always want to talk about what's going on with them, but when it's time to talk about what's going on with you, they ain't got time. They don't want to talk about what's going on with you. All right. They're not happy about your achievements and the exciting things that's going on in your life. They're never happy for you and what you got going on. Okay. They're jealous. They're jealous of what you got going on. You got to know that that's a frenemy, because anyone who is never happy that you are evolving, that you're growing, that you're achieving things, that you're improving your life, that you're improving your being, they just want you to stay where you are and not grow. Well, that's not a friend, y'all. A friend is going to want you to evolve, even if it's faster than them, even if they're not moving, just to be excited that you're moving. That is a friend. And we've got a lot of people out here who are jealous of other people's achievements and what they're achieving and what they're doing with their lives. Okay? when they could be doing the same thing that you're doing. But instead, they spend too much of their time sitting at home, mad that your life is going well and theirs is not. And it's brewing, okay? It's brewing. And that's what you get with Shanquella Robinson. I believe there was probably some jealousy going on, but it was brewing to the point that we decided to plot against her. All right. They constantly throw shade to try to embarrass you in front of others. If they're always trying to criticize you in front of others, make you look bad. They're very critical of you and try to pass it off as a constructive criticism, but it's really meant to hurt your feelings. That's a frenemy. Okay. They don't never have anything good to say about you. They've always got something bad to say about you, and they try to pretend like they care about you, but it's not really constructive criticism. It's not really to help you become a better person. It's not really to help you propel your life forward and do better. It's really just to make you feel bad about yourself. Their jokes are harmful, embarrassing, and degrading. Trust your gut. When your intuition tells you that they're a frenemy, there's something wrong with this friendship. Trust your gut that this is something wrong with this. Just like we got to trust our gut with the man, you got to trust your gut with the friend. This ain't no different, y'all. You break up with your man and you're sad. If you break up with your friend, you're sad. Relationships, friendships are just as important and just as hurtful as being in a relationship with a man or a woman if you're gay. But I'm just saying, you have to pay attention to the red flags, okay? When your family and your other friends are telling you they're not your friend, listen to your other friends and family when they're telling you they are not your friend. They're obviously seeing something you're not seeing, and there's some red flags there that you're not paying attention to. You always leave their presence depleted and feeling bad about yourself. They pick fights with you. They're always finding some reason that when things are going well to have conflict and argue and tear a rift into your friendship. Lastly, they're liars and they're violent. Who wants to be with friends who lie and friends who are violent? If they're not going to hesitate to fight others, what makes you think they're going to hesitate to fight you? They'll just easily as turn on you as they do anyone else. They can easily as get mad and hit you like they're hitting someone else. Okay? You got to not think that I'm different. Just like with a man, you want to think, well, I'm different. He's not going to treat me like he treated the others. They're going to treat you just like they treat the others. Pay attention to the red flags. Okay? Where you are is not where you have to be. Your past does not define you. You define you. So heal, transform, and pursue you.